Hello, my dear friends. My name is Harold, and welcome to the Sanctum, your gateway into learning and understanding the ancient wisdom of the East and the West. If you're new to this channel, please remember to subscribe to this channel and click the bell icon and like this video. It'll help this channel grow. So, in this particular video, we are going to be now delving into a new subject, which I've touched upon in some of my other videos, but I've never gone deeper into. And this subject is known as mesmerism. Okay. Now, we're not going to fully dive into the whole subject in this video, but we're going to be talking about a key component of this particular tradition and science, which is how to develop a magnetic gaze. So before I talk about the actual exercise and how you would develop a magnetic gaze, it's important for me to define the difference between hypnosis and mesmerism and what all of this stuff is. Okay, so make sure you watch till the end of the video so that you can actually learn this particular practice and technique. So hypnosis is more recent and is derived from the older Mesmeric tradition. So mesmerism was coined by Franz Anton Mesmer, who discovered that using the gaze and what he called magnetic passes, he was able to induce an altered state of consciousness within an individual. Now, this mesmerism, which Mesmer used to do, came from a much older Hermetic tradition from Egypt. And mesmerism is also practiced in its own way in places like Indonesia and India and parts of the Middle East and things like that as well. So the original point of mesmerism, it was used as a healing technique in Egyptian sleep temples, which is essentially a place where people would go, and altered states were induced, and all sorts of ancient healing practices were carried out using this altered state of consciousness, or what we call the mesmeric state. Hypnosis uses words and suggestion to create an altered state of consciousness, whereas mesmerism uses no words. It's purely non-verbal in nature, and it's more esoteric in nature. It's more spiritual. It uses a form of vital energy, or what Franz Anton Mesmer used to call animal magnetism, in order to induce this altered state. So what we're going to be learning today is we're going to be learning how to develop one's eyes and activate the centers in your eyes, the energetic centers in your eyes. You could call them chakras, or rather than the seven major chakras that most traditions are used to during the modern day, due to it becoming popular through theosophy and yoga. These minor chakras that are present in our eyes, through certain practices, can be activated and become charged with this animal magnetism, so we can learn to project this particular energy or animal magnetism to create an altered state within an individual, or a state of mental fascination. That's the term that mesmerists used to use, mental fascination, because an individual over time, if you are to do these practices, it'll develop a certain force in your eyes, so that when you look at somebody, they will become fascinated by your gaze, and if you know what to do, they will go into this altered state, and the conscious mind will begin to quieten down, and the unconscious will become more open to suggestion. Okay, so this is the basis of this technique. It's called magnetic because you can become very alluring in nature. And there are some other techniques that go with this practice to further develop this animal magnetism and energy that we're talking about. I cover some of these techniques in my personal magnetism course, which you can find in the description box below if you're interested in developing personal magnetism and actually developing this force that we're talking about. But essentially, what we are going to do now is I'm going to share with you how you can begin to develop your eyes in order to activate them so that you're able to transmit this animal magnetism through your eyes. So in order to do this, all you need to do first is you need to get a little piece of paper like this and draw a little point on it, a little black spot on it like this, just like how I've done. It doesn't have to be a paper like this. It could be a larger paper or a smaller paper. Essentially, you want to get a small piece of paper, draw a little point on it, and paste it on a wall near you, about eye level or maybe even slightly higher. And you can do that by, putting glue tack on the back or sticky tape or whatever. You can, however you wish, you can fix it onto the wall. And then you want to essentially sit with this piece of paper on the wall in this particular posture. This posture is known as the Pharaonic posture or the heretic posture. And essentially make sure your feet are on the ground and your hands are placed facing down on your lap. And just imagine there's a string connected to the top of your head, pulling your head up, just thereby straightening the spine. And you want to sit in this manner and stare at this central point. Okay? And when I mean stare, I literally mean stare. And you want to be able to stare at this point without blinking. Okay? So you want to start with just 1 minute, because if you've never done this sort of thing before, it's going to be difficult. And as soon as you notice that you've either started to blink or your eyes are starting to hurt or you're tearing up, what you do is you stop the exercise. You generate some heat in your palms. You cup your palms like this and you just place it over the eyes and soothe the eyes like this for a few minutes. And what this will do is it'll begin to strengthen your gaze. You start with just 1 minute, then you increase it to 2 minutes, and then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, all the way until you can do at least 10 or 15 minutes without blinking. It sounds impossible, but no, it's really possible. It just takes a lot of practice. It's about sitting there and just doing it over and over and over again. And over time, you'll be able to keep your eyes open for an extended period of time, sometimes even 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour. You can keep your eyes open if you practice this way. And you don't have to worry, it's not going to damage your eyes or anything. In fact, it might even improve your eyesight. And you want to make sure you're doing this without any glasses, or if you're wearing glasses, you want to remove your glasses. And if you wear contact lenses, you want to remove your contact lenses. And the more you practice this, you'll notice that your eyes will begin to develop a newfound sense of strength. So you want to focus on this point and imagine that you're firing little arrows from the point in between your brows all the way and hitting the center of this point. And you want to keep doing that for 1 minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes and so on. If you want to increase it, you need about 10 or 15 minutes with your eyes really open to begin to develop this solar force that we are trying to develop. We are trying to develop projection power here within the eyes. And you'll notice, if you've been doing this for about a month or two every single day, that your eyes will start to feel somewhat heavier and denser, not in a uncomfortable way. It feels quite comfortable, but you'll feel there's some strength in your eyes. And when you look at other people and they look at you, there'll be this sense of magnetism that's created. Okay, and this is how you start to develop it. Okay, this is just one aspect of it. I'm going to create an entire series on mesmerism and magnetism and things like that on my Patreon channel, which you can find in the description box below or on the screen in front of you. But there are certain elements to begin to develop this force, and this is the first aspect of it. So practice it daily. Now you won't focus on that point continuously. If you notice that you've drifted away and or you're thinking about something, keep coming back to the point and keep throwing those arrows. It will also begin to improve your willpower doing this exercise in this manner. And over time, you will begin to notice the development of this inner magnetism. So this is the first exercise and the most basic introductory exercise, which is kind of like your bread and butter when it comes to mesmerism and developing this magnetic force within yourself. So if you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like and subscribe to this channel. And I hope to see you again soon. Thank you, take care, and I shall see you soon.